That feeling, like your chest is a vice, squeezing tighter with every practice test, every flashcard, every well-meaning, but ultimately pressure-inducing pep talk from family. The SAT. College entrance exams. Big tests. They loom, not just as assessments of knowledge, but as monstrous gatekeepers to your future, their shadows stretching long and menacing across your dreams. You're not alone. Millions feel it. That knot of anxiety, the mental fog, the sheer, paralyzing fear that you're simply not good enough. That you'll fail. That everything you've worked for will crumble because of a single, standardized score. It's easy to get swept up in the hype, the endless prep courses, the promises of guaranteed success plastered across billboards and websites. The message is clear. Knowledge is power. But what happens when knowledge isn't enough? What happens when you know the formulas, understand the concepts, but your mind betrays you the moment you sit down to take the test? What happens when anxiety hijacks your brain, turning it into a scrambled mess of self-doubt and panic? Then, the real test begins. The test of the test. This isn't just about acing an exam. It's about something far more profound. Mastering your own mind. Because the truth is, that monstrous wall isn't made of math problems or vocabulary words. It's constructed from the bricks of your own fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs. It's a mental construct, a self-imposed barrier that prevents you from accessing your full potential. And just like any wall, it can be dismantled, brick by brick. We're not going to offer you a magic formula for instant success. We're not going to promise you a perfect score with minimal effort. What we will offer you is something far more valuable, a toolkit for mental resilience. Strategies to quiet the inner critic, manage the pressure, and transform that paralyzing anxiety into focused determination. Because the real battle isn't about intelligence, it's about inner strength. It's about cultivating the mental fortitude to face any challenge, not just on test day, but in every aspect of your life. Think of that knot in your chest. That's not a sign of weakness. It's a signal. A signal that it's time to shift your focus. To stop fixating on the outcome and start investing in your mindset. To recognize that you are more than just a score. You are capable, resilient, and resourceful. And with the right tools, you can unlock your inner potential and transform that intimidating wall into a stepping stone towards your dreams. This journey is about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that you are the architect of your own reality. It's about learning to navigate the inevitable challenges and setbacks with grace, courage, and unwavering self-belief. So, take a deep breath. Release the tension in your shoulders. And prepare to embark on a journey of self-discovery, empowerment, and ultimately, triumph. Because the greatest test you'll ever face is the one you take within yourself. And you are already stronger than you think. So, what exactly fuels this test anxiety? It's not merely about a fear of failure, though that certainly plays a role. A deeper dive reveals that test anxiety often stems from a complex interplay of cognitive distortions, learned behaviors, and physiological responses. One significant contributor is what psychologists call catastrophic thinking, the tendency to jump to the worst possible conclusion. For instance, a student might think, if I fail this exam, my entire future is ruined. A statement that, while emotionally charged, is rarely grounded in reality. This kind of all-or-nothing thinking amplifies stress and undermines confidence. Another crucial layer is the influence of past experiences. Perhaps previous encounters with high-stakes tests were marked by negative feedback or perceived failures. These experiences can create a conditioned response, where the test environment itself becomes a trigger for anxiety. The brain, associating tests with negative emotions, activates the body's stress response, leading to physical symptoms like a racing heart, sweaty palms, and mental blankness. This is not a sign of intellectual deficiency. It's a predictable consequence of learned associations. However, it's also important to acknowledge the role of societal and familial pressures. The emphasis placed on academic achievement, particularly in competitive environments, can create an atmosphere of intense pressure. Students may internalize the belief that their worth is contingent upon their test scores, leading to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. This pressure can be further exacerbated by parents or teachers who, while well-intentioned, may inadvertently communicate unrealistic expectations. Beyond external factors, individual personality traits can also contribute to test anxiety. Perfectionistic tendencies, for example, can lead to excessive worry and self-criticism. Students with perfectionistic traits may set impossibly high standards for themselves and become overly concerned with making mistakes. This fear of imperfection can then fuel anxiety and hinder performance. Conversely, students with low self-esteem may doubt their abilities and underestimate their potential, leading to a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. Furthermore, consider the impact of poor study habits. Procrastination, cramming, and a lack of effective preparation can significantly increase anxiety levels. When students feel unprepared, they are more likely to experience feelings of stress and uncertainty. This lack of preparation can also lead to a vicious cycle, where anxiety inhibits effective studying, which in turn increases anxiety further. Now, consider how this applies when you face that looming exam. Are you engaging in catastrophic thinking? Are you replaying past failures in your mind? Are you succumbing to societal or familial pressures? Are you setting unrealistic expectations for yourself? Are you neglecting your study habits? By identifying the specific factors that contribute to your test anxiety, you can begin to develop targeted strategies to address them. This understanding is the first step towards breaking free from the cycle of fear and reclaiming your power. Reflecting on this journey so far, a pattern emerges, subtly shifting the landscape of our understanding. It's as though we've been navigating a dense forest, initially overwhelmed by the towering trees of anxiety and pressure, but gradually discovering the underlying network of roots and pathways that connect them all. We begin to perceive that the individual anxieties, those sharp, distinct fears, are not isolated entities but rather manifestations of a deeper, interconnected system. The initial feeling of being trapped beneath an insurmountable weight gives way to a sense of agency, a recognition that we possess the tools to reshape our internal environment. It's the realization that the power to influence our experience resides not solely in external achievements or outcomes, but in our capacity to cultivate inner resources. This isn't about denying the validity of our emotions. Instead, it's about learning to navigate them with greater awareness and skill. Imagine a complex piece of machinery, initially appearing daunting and impenetrable. As we delve deeper, we begin to understand the function of each component, how they interact, and how adjustments to one part can influence the entire system. Similarly, understanding the interplay of cognitive distortions, past experiences, and societal pressures allows us to fine-tune our responses and recalibrate our perspective. Drawing these strands together, we see that the challenge of test anxiety is not simply a matter of intellectual preparation, but a holistic endeavor that encompasses emotional regulation, cognitive restructuring, and self-compassion. It's about cultivating a mindset that embraces challenges as opportunities for growth, rather than viewing them as threats to our self-worth. It's about learning to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding that we would offer a friend facing a similar struggle. In light of these insights, the path forward becomes clearer. It's a path that prioritizes self-awareness, resilience, and a commitment to ongoing personal development. It's a path that acknowledges the importance of seeking support, connecting with others, and fostering a sense of community. It's a path where setbacks are viewed not as failures but as valuable learning experiences, providing opportunities for refinement and growth. As we pivot towards the final reflection, consider the transformative potential that lies within. The journey we've undertaken is not merely about overcoming test anxiety. It's about cultivating a more resilient, compassionate, and empowered version of ourselves. It's about recognizing that the challenges we face are not obstacles to be avoided but opportunities to be embraced, shaping us into stronger, more capable individuals. The true measure of success lies not in the absence of challenges but in our ability to navigate them with grace, courage, and unwavering self-belief.